time for keeping secrets in my head, or any space you can find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Oh, well. What a Thursday would do for you here, boys and girls, wouldn't it, here? This is Butch On Sports. Simply Butch is here. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in on a Thursday. I know you got a whole lot of things to do, but we'll give you some sports news that you can't get enough of. And how about let's have at it here? Let's have at it. The Detroit battled the Angels today at their getaway game here, and 5 runs in the first inning. They beat up the Angels. Yes, they beat up the Angels by a final score of 6-2. Yes, indeed. However, in this particular game, Detroit, again, caused some more problems. Oblique injury sent Carpenter to the DL. And they just called him up from Toledo. Pitched a pretty good doggone good game up to the 4th inning. And then he got hurt. Oh, boy. And, of course, we heard about the Rally Goose. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. It was out there hanging on the dugout between the little fences. It's a wonder that the umpires didn't knock it off into the dugout. But they didn't. They let it stay right there. And maybe that'll be Detroit's call for protocol as they won the last 6 or 8 games here. Doing a pretty good homestand, I should say, here. Jeimer Candelario started off and with a bang and a boom. He's doing pretty doggone good there. But he got hit. Now we have people without Jose Iglesias, Martin, and others are on the disabled list again for the Detroit Tigers. Next man up here, I say. I say next man up. So Ronnie Rodriguez got called on up there on Wednesday, and they're going to have to call up some more people as per the lineup here. However, Miguel Cabrera is coming back. Reportedly, he'll be back in the lineup on Friday for the Detroit Tigers. So we'll see who they make room for on that 21-man roster. Grayson Greeny, prior to Thursday, he got sent back to Toledo. He might get called back up again here. We don't know. We'll find out here. We will find out. They called up a young man named Ronnie Rodriguez, and he played a stellar game today for the Detroit Tigers. How long he'll stay, we have no idea, but when he was with Toledo, he had 8 home runs, 25 extra base hits, and 48 games this year. Yes. And the reason they called it Rodriguez is because on this contract, he had an opt-out clause in his contract that would allow him to become a free agent if he was not in the lineup by a certain date. So I take it the certain date was June the 1st. So he's in the Detroit lineup, and they don't have to get rid of him, or he become a free agent. The Tigers still owns his rights. I'm just trying to tell you the truth here, what's going on here with the Detroit Tigers. Again, they're winning. They're winning some ball games, so we should hip, hip, hooray on that one here, okay? We should hip, hip, hooray. Now, Delaware will be the first state to take advantage of the recent decision that legalized sports betting across the United States. As per J.A. Perez of USA Today, 3 casinos in the state will launch sport betting starting on June the 5th. Remember that date, boys and girls. June the 5th. You can gamble and bet on anything you want in Delaware. I thought New Jersey would be first, but Delaware beat them up. Let's keep on going. Detroit Pistons have been in the news here lately. They plan on interviewing TNT analyst and former NBA champion Kenny Smith for the franchise vacant coaching spot. Sources from Yahoo Sports had that particular rumor out there. Smith has a 10-year career. He began with the Sacramento Kings. He played with the Atlanta Hawks and went to Houston Rockets, where he had great success. Detroit Pistons, yes, Kenny Smith played Detroit Pistons, Orlando Magic, and the Denver Nuggets, winning 2 championships with the Rockets in 1995 and 96. Smith is 53 years old. He's been working with the broadcast and the analyst portion for TNT Sports, plus a couple reality shows thrown on in there. He's been with TNT since 1998, but he's never coached in the NBA. He's coaching AAU. Yes, Kenny has coached in AAU. Juwan Howard has been pasted on that particular list too. And by the way, you didn't find out that Bernie Bickerstaff and Mr. Lynham will be assisting the new consultant for the Detroit Pistons on finding a head coach and maybe a general manager for the particular team. Speaking of the Detroit Pistons, they estimate 1,000 children in Flint community schools will go every day without glasses that they need. Tom Gores of the Detroit Pistons and founder of Flint Now Foundation is partnering up with Visions to Learn on a new initiative that provides free vision screening, eyeglasses, and an eye examination for every kid that needs it in the Flint community school organization there. Kids in Flint need the support that they ever and would commit to looking for their future, said Tom Gores in this particular. We're proud of bringing Visions to Learn into the community to give kids a gift, a sight, a tool of lasting impact that will make a difference in their lives for years to come. Yes, that is a pretty good venture there. Hopefully they kind of spread that out with Detroit Public School System and others in the metropolitan Detroit area, because there's a lot of kids that need things, I tell you. Quicken Loans. Yes, Quicken Loans have did their deeds. If you have not heard, the PGA is coming to Detroit beginning in June of 2019. Yes, the Washington Potomac National Open that is sponsored by Quicken Loans is going to be their last year there. They'll be saying au revoir, goodbye, or however you want to put it. Yes, the first ever PGA Tour event in Detroit to spotlight the city and continue growth, revitalization there will be one of the subjects, one of the tasks when people come into Detroit to get to see. The Quicken Loans remain the sponsor of the 2018 Quicken Loans National at TPC Potomac. They're still doing that there, indeed. Again, that announcement was yesterday, breaking news. Detroit, for a long period of time since the Dearborn, they had the Senior Open here. They did have a couple other ladies events in Grand Blanche and whatnot here. But again, they haven't the Buick Open, which was in Grand Blanche as well. That's been cut down to size and not been. That used to be the professional event here in Michigan, but not in the city of Detroit or close to the metropolitan urban section of Detroit. Detroit Golf Course will be the home of the PGA or the TPC or the PGA, whatever you want to prefer to use for that particular tour. That will be a major. So you're going to get a whole heck of a lot of new stars and old stars and current stars in the city of Detroit to make headways. And again, many people, visitors, media alike, can come and see the revitalization of the city of Detroit. And therefore, I think that's pretty doggone good. What do you think? I think you're fine. Out of the WWE ring since December the 17th, I watched the hockey game a little bit last night after I got home from a chore that I was doing there. Yesterday was my first cameo appearance on station, the Superstation, 910 on Livonia Perryman's and Friends show. And of course, yours truly was there for 2 hours, giving sports news and answering questions and giving some rugged responses on the particular show in general. And courtesy of having some fun. And I enjoyed it tremendously. I'll be on there at least right now to, I guess my knowledge is at least every Wednesday on the show, unless they make changes or whatever it may be. But and again, all the people who send in emails and Facebooks and all the other stuff there, congratulate me, and I say thank you again. Thank you everybody for the support, and I'll need your support more or less ongoing here on the particular show here. This is an abbreviated version of Butch On Sports because right now the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the Golden State Warriors. At last I looked at the particular, Golden State was leading by 3, but that has changed because I have the screen particularly off while I'm doing this podcast here. So I will check on the score before we get off the air to see what's going on. And of course, I'll try to report it to you. Meanwhile, the WWE action since December 17th, I was starting to say that before I got into my spiel about thanking everybody. He had a severe tricep injury. Dean Ambrose made an appearance last night at Game 2 at the Stanley Cup Finals in Las Vegas. Him and his wife, Renee Young, took in the game. God knows they got the money. And I'm quite sure they had a great time there. They got a free ride on the Zamboni. Both of them. And they showed the picture on the big screen and everything. And Dean Ambrose is now sporting a beard. Similar, looking like Sami Zayn. And a brand new haircut as well. I didn't take off his hat, but you can tell he has a haircut, second to none. So we'll see how long it's going to take before he gets back there. Yep. And speaking of that particular game, Washington has tied up that particular series, Stanley Cup, 1-1. They beat the Golden Knights by a final score of 4-3. Very, very exciting game last night. Hobie, the goaltender for the Capitals, did an excellent job of keeping the Capitals in that particular game. I thought the Golden Knights would just come back and rally. They had some tremendous chances, and Hobie stopped them all. Just put a stop to all of it. Yes, he did. Yesterday, at Comerica Park, that went national, each and everywhere. And everyone who normally goes to Comerica Park, like me on a regular basis, normally during this time of year, geese and birds and all kind of stuff be on the field. I don't know if because of hot dogs or the green grass or fresh worms. I don't know. But they seem during the innings have a liking to come on and hang out on the field and take ownership of it. Well, last night here they had one goose that was on the field, and he took ownership for the field for a good while. And some vendors and some event people came out to chase the bird away. And finally the bird took flight. And as his, not his descent, but he's getting into the sky, he runs into the blue scoreboard up above in the second deck of Comerica Park, only landing into the seats. Well, a lady ran to the aid of the bird, which was a skilled veterinarian. from Lansing. And if you didn't see the game today, she was able to throw out the first pitch, who saved the bird. The bird is going to be taken back to Lansing under her care and the veterinarian's care at the hospital, where, again, that bird will be, once he's well and ready to go, will be released back into the wild and find new friends. I just wanted to report that there because everybody wanted to know where the bird was. Some reports say the bird was free. No, the bird was kept in confines until the lady left, took it to the hospital in Lansing, and get the bird all fixed up and ready to go for, again, its further life here. Boy, that'd be national attention, a bird running to, and, everybody thought you can hear the announcers, as they went through and talking about the bird, and all of a sudden he hits the board and bounces down all the way down on the ground into the seats in right field. People were very concerned. I was concerned when I saw it, but again, the one lady caught the bird and had the perfect handle on him and all. You could tell the bird was going to be all right there. And again, that report is that bird, the goose, I should say, it's called a bird. The goose, which has no name, is fine. It's good. Oh, and that relieves me. I said I would kind of check in on a particular there on the score, as you can hear in the background as the sound is going on. And I'm seeing Golden State 84 and the Cleveland Cavaliers 78. 6-point lead there for Golden State. Klay Thompson was injured during the first quarter, and he's back in the game, so that's good news for Golden State fans. A pretty good defensive game at certain points of the game as well here. So, give you that report here, and that says I'm pretty done here. The Blue Jays will be in town for the Detroit Tigers during the weekend. The Grand Prix starting tomorrow. Let me remind you all, it is free day. Free day means that you get on the island, you park your cars in one of the designated spots outside the island. You will take one of the shuttles inside the park. They will not be looking at license or anything, or do you belong there or not, because again, this is a sanctioned event in that particular. You can go around for free, sit in the grandstands, watch the race car drivers, if they're driving, go to the paddocks, which is the locker room for where the cars are, and maybe see some of your famous drivers and whatnot, take pictures, ask questions, etc., etc., etc. And just have a very good time. They'll be selling beverages and refreshments and some giveaways I'm quite sure will be had out there if you go out there on a Friday. And you might bump into me maybe Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And again, Detroit Tigers in town. And by the way, New York is going to be playing a doubleheader on Monday. That's normally an off day for Detroit Tigers. However, they're going to be playing baseball, a day-night doubleheader there. Give you just the lineup. And again, we'll keep you abreast of the Pistons statute. And basically finding out if and when they find a head coach for the Detroit Pistons, and maybe a general manager as well. I've heard all kind of names being flapped out there. Not the names that I want to see, but we'll keep you abreast of that there. We're going to take the rest of the week off. Well, we'll be back on the air on Tuesday for Butch On Sports. Again, you can catch Butch On Sports always on Facebook. Go to Butch On Sports, Butch On Sports' page on Facebook. You can go to Podomatic, Type in simplybutchoo.podomatic.com. Find it there. You can find me on Podbean, along with the game and other smorgasbord of adventures on that particular page. TheGameSportsShow.com at Podbean, or .Podbean, I should say here. Scott Nason, E.J. Russell, Dave McKay, and myself all have shows, and our podcast will be featured on there as well. And I believe that my inaugural telecast on the Superstation 910 is on that particular as well. My inaugural one here. And then, of course, we'll be back Monday. Yes, Monday we will be back, all of us, doing things at the Wicked Sister for the game. The show starts at 6 o'clock. I'll be on at 6:45. And then we'll continue the game at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock on the podcast, where we get some juicy subjects that you can't get enough of. I am Simply Butch, and I am out of here. Butch On Sports is a presentation of, yes, they are a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. Have a great day, everybody.